A mother's scream cuts through the crowded hallway of the St. Camille Hospital in Ouagadougou. It is not a scream of physical pain, but the raw, gut-wrenching sound of a heartbreaking. Ibrahim Traoré stands near the entrance, leaning against a peeling wall. He's not here with a camera crew. He's not here with a security detail. He's wearing simple dusty fadings, his cap pulled low, to the nurses and patients rushing by. He's just another soldier waiting for news, but his eyes are scanning everything. He watches as a young doctor steps back from a hospital bed, his head hanging low in defeat. The doctor whispers something to the screaming mother, something about supplies, about a shipment that never came. A child just died from a treatable infection simply because a $10 vial of antibiotics was missing from the shelf. Ibrahim feels his fists clench at his sides. He isn't sad. He is furious. This is where the story truly begins. Before we dive in, what time is it where you are? Which country are you watching from? Leave a comment and let me know. And please hit that like button and subscribe to become part of the Commander Ibrahim Try Your Nation community for more inspiring stories. Ibrahim pushes off the wall and walks toward the nurse's station. The air is thick with heat and the smell of antiseptic that can't quite cover the scent of sickness. He sees the doctor, who just lost the patient, slamming a clipboard onto the counter. The name tag reads Dr. Kabor. The man looks exhausted, his eyes rimmed with red. Ibrahim approaches him slowly. He keeps his voice low, steady. He asks why the medicine wasn't there. Dr. Kabor looks up, seeing only a random soldier. He doesn't hide his bitterness. He says the inventory logs claim the pharmacy is full. The computer says they have 500 doses, but the shelves are bare. He tells Ibrahim that ghost trucks arrive at night, sign papers, and leave without unloading a single box. Ibrahim listens, without interrupting. He thanks the doctor and steps away, slipping into the shadows of the corridor. He pulls out a secure phone and accesses the Ministry of Health's digital database. He checks the logs for St. Camille. According to the screen, a massive delivery was signed for just 6 hours ago. The signature at the bottom belongs to the chief administrator, a man named Jean-Paul Zango. Ibrahim knows of Zango. He's a bureaucrat known for expensive suits and dinners that cost more than a nurse makes in a year. The records show the medicine is here. The reality shows children dying. Ibrahim makes a decision. He is not going to call the police. He is not going to file a report. That'll just get shredded. He walks out the back exit toward the loading docks. The sun is setting, casting long shadows across the concrete. The loading bay should be empty this time of day, but it isn't. Ibrahim crouches behind a stack of empty pallets. A black delivery van is idling near the ramp, its engine humming quietly. 2 men are working fast, but they aren't taking boxes into the hospital. They are carrying crates out of the storage room and loading them into the van. Ibrahim zooms in with his phone camera. The crates are marked with the Red Cross symbol. Essential medicine. They aren't stealing supplies. They are emptying the hospital dry while patients suffer inside. Ibrahim watches as a man in a sharp gray suit steps out to supervise the loading. It's Zango. He's smiling, checking his watch, treating this theft like a business deal. Ibrahim prepares to move to stop them right there. But then he sees the driver of the van step out to light a cigarette. The driver is wearing a uniform. Not a hospital uniform, a police uniform. Ibrahim freezes in the shadows. His hand hovers over his sidearm, but he doesn't draw. If a police officer is driving the getaway car, this isn't just a robbery, it's a conspiracy. If he engages now in a firefight at a hospital loading dock, the evidence will disappear and the big fish will swim away. Zandlo will just claim he was inspecting a transfer and blame the chaos on a rogue soldier. Ibrahim needs to see where this rabbit hole leads. He snaps 3 rapid photos. With his phone, the officer's face, the van's license plate, and Zongo's handshake with the driver. As the van peels out of the lot, Ibrahim sprints to his own unmarked vehicle parked a block away. He doesn't turn on his headlights. He just slips into the traffic, keeping the tail lights of the delivery van in his sights. The drive takes them away from the dusty, crowded streets of the working-class district. They head north toward Waga 2000, the neighborhood where the mansions have high walls and the generators never run out of fuel. The van slows down and pulls into the service entrance of the Golden Life Private Clinic. It's a place for politicians and foreign diplomats, not regular citizens. Ibrahim parks down the street and watches through binoculars. He sees the same crates, the ones marked for free distribution by the Red Cross, being unloaded by staff in pristine white uniforms. He watches money change hands. Thick envelopes are passed from the clinic manager to the corrupt police driver. It hits Ibrahim like a punch to the gut. The medicine meant to save dying children for free is being sold to the rich for a premium. It's not just corruption, it's murder for profit. He has seen enough to know the what, but he needs the how. He needs the paper trail that links Zongo to these payments. Ibrahim spins his car around and races back to St. Camille Hospital. The building is quiet now, the chaotic energy of the day replaced by the low hum of misery. He slips back inside, moving like a ghost through the corridors. He heads straight for the administrative wing. The door to Zongo's office is locked, but that doesn't stop a man with Ibrahim's training. A quick force with a tension tool, and the lock clicks. He steps inside, the smell of expensive cologne still hanging in the air. He boots up Zongo's computer. It's password protected, but Ibrahim inserts a USB drive loaded with military-grade decryption software. While the progress bar loads, he hears a noise. The door cacks. Ibrahim spins around, ready to strike. It's Dr. Kabor. The young doctor stands there terrified, holding a stack of patient files. He sees a soldier breaking into his boss's office and starts to back away, his hands trembling. Ibrahim steps into the light and takes off his cap. He looks the doctor dead in the eye. I am not here to steal, doctor. I am here to find the medicine your patient needed. Recognition flashes across Dr. Kabort's face. He gasps. He knows this face. Every person in Burkina Faso knows this face. Mr. President, he whispers. Ibrahim puts a finger to his lips. He motions for the doctor to come closer. The computer doctor. I need to know how. He cooks the books. Kabor hesitates for a second. Then fear is replaced by determination. He rushes to the keyboard. He keeps a double ledger. The doctor says, his fingers flying across the keys. I suspected it for months, but never had access. Look here. The screen flashes open. Spreadsheets scroll by. It's worse than Ibrahim thought. Camille isn't the only target. Zongo is the ringleader for a network skimming supplies from 5 major public hospitals. Millions of dollars in stolen antibiotics, malaria treatments, and surgical kits. They are bleeding the national health system dry. Ibrahim pulls out his phone to record the screen. They have the smoking gun, but just as the download finishes, the radio on Dr. Kabort's belt crackles to life. Security to the admin wing. Silent alarm. Triggered in Director Zongo's office. Ibrahim curses under his breath. Zongo had a silent trigger on the computer. Heavy boots are already thundering down the hallway. There are no back exits in this office. They are cornered on the 3rd floor with only one door in or out. Ibrahim looks at the window then. At the doctor. He grabs a heavy metal chair and jams it under the doorknob as just someone throws their weight against the wood from the outside. The door shudders, the wood splintering. Whoever is out there isn't knocking. They are coming to kill. The wood around the door frame splinters with a deafening crack. The chair wedged under. The knob is bending like a plastic spoon. Dr. Kabor is hyperventilating, backing up until he hits the filing cabinets. He looks at Ibrahim, eyes wide, with terror. He's a healer, not a soldier. He isn't built for this, but Ibrahim is. Ibrahim moves with a terrifying calmness. He grabs a heavy bronze statue from the desk and swings it hard against the office window. Crash! The glass shatters, raining shards down onto the concrete 3 stories below. The humid night air rushes in, mixing with the dust of the breaking door. Ibrahim looks down. There's a narrow concrete ledge about 4 foot down running along the building's facade. It's barely wide enough for a boot. We have to go, Ibrahim commands, his voice cutting through the noise of the battering ram behind them. Kabir shakes his head. I can't. That's suicide. Ibrahim doesn't have time to argue. The door hinges scream and give way. A black-booted foot kicks through the gap. Ibrahim grabs the doctor by the collar, not aggressively, but firmly. Stay here, and you're dead. Come with me, and we save those kids. It's the choice between certain death and a chance at life. Kabir nods. Ibrahim goes first. He swings out, finding the ledge his boots, gripping the rough concrete. He reaches a hand back up. Kabir climbs out clumsy and shaking, just as the office door bursts open. 3 men in tactical gear storm in, weapons raised. They see the broken window and rush toward it. Bullets chip the stone inches from Ibrahim's face. Move! Ibrahim yells. They scramble along the ledge in the dark, rounding the corner of the building just as the gunfire erupts in earnest. They slide down a drain pipe, tearing skin and uniform, crashing into the thick landscaping bushes below. They don't stop to check for bruises. Ibrahim leads them through the dark hospital grounds, dodging security patrols with flashlights. They vault a back fence and disappear into the chaotic maze of Ouagadougou's side streets. Ibrahim doesn't stop until they are miles away, deep in a neighborhood where the street lights don't work and the police don't visit. He kicks open the door to a small abandoned storage shed he knows about, an old safe spot from his early army days. Inside, breathing heavy, sweat dripping down his face, Dr. Kabir slumps against a crate. Ibrahim doesn't rest. He immediately pulls out the phone with the stolen data. The screen casts a blue glow on his focused face. We need to know who pulls Zongo's strings, Ibrahim mutters. He swipes through the files, cross-referencing the bank transfers. Zongo was sending 40% of the profits to a shell company in the Cayman Islands. But the authorization codes, they look familiar. Too familiar. Ibrahim pulls up the metadata for the shell company. The silent owner's signature isn't a businessman. It's a military call sign. Eagle 1. Ibrahim's blood runs cold. He knows that call sign. It belongs to Colonel Sankara, the man in charge of logistics for the entire Northern Defense Front. A man Ibrahim considered a mentor. A man who sat at Ibrahim's table and spoke about honor. Sankara isn't just ignoring the theft. He is orchestrating it to fund his own retirement plan while his own soldiers and citizens die of untreated wounds. The betrayal stings worse than the slide down the drain pipe. But then the phone in Ibrahim's hand vibrates. It's not a Call. It's a text message from an unknown number. The message is short, simple, and terrifying. I know you have the files, Ibrahim. Check the news. You're already a wanted man. Ibrahim switches on a small, dusty radio in the corner of the shed. The news anchor's voice fills the room. Breaking news. A rogue soldier has attacked the chief administrator of St. Camille Hospital and kidnapped a doctor. A manhunt is underway. Shoot to kill orders have been authorized. Ibrahim looks at Dr. Kaber. They aren't just investigators anymore. They are the most wanted fugitives in the country. And the man hunting them controls the very army Ibrahim used to lead. But Ibrahim notices something else. In the data, a location, a warehouse on the outskirts of the city listed as archive storage. But according to the delivery logs, it's receiving shipments every night. Sankara isn't just selling medicine. He's stockpiling something else there. Something big. Ibrahim checks his sidearm. One magazine left. He looks at the doctor. We aren't running, Ibrahim says, a dangerous light in his eyes. We are going to pay the colonel a visit. They step back out into the night, but they don't see the drone silently hovering 200 feet above them. Camera lens fixed on their position. The enemy isn't just ahead of them. They're watching their every move. And what waits for them at that warehouse is going to make the hospital theft look like petty crime. The conspiracy is about to get a whole lot deadlier. The hum of the drone gets louder. A buzzing, mechanical mosquito hovering in the black sky. Ibrahim doesn't look up. He knows military tech. If he can hear it, the operator has already locked on to their heat signatures. Move now! Barks, shoving Dr. Kaber toward a rusted, beat-up pickup truck parked near the alley exit. Ibrahim smashes the driver's side window with his elbow, hot-wires the ignition with practiced ease, and the engine coughs to life. They strike out of the alley just as a black SUV turns the corner, tires smoking. The chase is on. Ibrahim weaves through the narrow, unpaved streets of the slums. The truck bounces violently, shocks groaning with every pothole. Dr. Kaber is gripping the dashboard, his knuckles white. They're tracking us. How do they know where we are? The doctor screams over the roar of the engine. Ibrahim glances at the phone in his pocket, the one with all the evidence. They aren't tracking the truck, Ibrahim says grimly. They're tracking this. He rolls down the window and hurls the phone into a passing drainage ditch. The evidence is gone, but so is the tracker. It's a gamble. They are invisible now, but they are also empty-handed. Ibrahim kills the headlights and drifts the truck into a dense cluster of market. Stalls, killing the engine. They wait in the dark. The pursuing SUVs roar past. Sirens wailing, chasing a ghost signal. Kaber lets out a shaky breath. We lost. The evidence, he whispers, defeated. We have nothing. Ibrahim shakes his head. We don't need digital files, doctor. We need the source. He puts the truck back in gear. We're going to the warehouse. 30 minutes later, they park in the tall grass overlooking the industrial district. The archive storage facility isn't a dusty government building. A fortress. High fences, razor wire, and guards patrolling with military-grade assault rifles. These aren't police. These are private mercenaries. Safar's personal hit squad. Ibrahim hands the doctor a tire iron he found under the seat. Stay close. Do exactly what I do. They cut through the perimeter fence in a blind spot Ibrahim identifies by the patrol timing. They slip across the asphalt and pry open a side maintenance door. Inside, the warehouse is massive and brightly lit. The sound of machinery fills the air. They creep along a catwalk looking down at the operation floor. What they see makes Dr. Kabor gag. It's not just storage. It's a factory. Dozens of workers are standing at conveyor belts. They're taking bottles of medicine, expired medicine, some by 5 or 10 years, and using chemical solvents to wipe off the expiration dates. Further down the line, a machine stamps fresh dates onto the bottles and packs them into new, crisp boxes labeled government aid. Ibrahim watches, his jaw set like stone. They aren't just stealing new medicine. They're pumping toxic, expired drugs back into the system. This explains the infection deaths. This explains everything. It's a mass poisoning for profit. It's a slaughterhouse, Ibrahim whispers. He spots the main office overlooking the floor. Inside, the silhouette of a man is pacing. Colonel Sankara. Ibrahim pulls a burner phone from his boot, an emergency backup he never travels without. He prepares to snap a photo of Sankara overseeing the operation. This is the kill shot. But as he raises the phone, a deafening klaxon alarm blasts through the warehouse. The conveyor belts stop. The workers freeze. From the loudspeakers, a voice booms out. It's calm, authoritative, and chillingly familiar. Ibrahim, I taught you better than to cut the fence in the same spot twice. Flood lights on the catwalk suddenly blaze to life, blinding them. Below, 20 mercenaries raise their rifles, aiming directly at the catwalk. Ibrahim grabs Dr. Kabor and pulls him behind a metal pillar just as the bullets start flying. Sparks shower down on them. They're pinned down, outgunned, and trapped 20 feet in the air. The voice on the speaker laughs. Bring them down. I want the president to see his future before I end it. Ibrahim looks at the layout. There's a waste. Shoot 10 feet away that leads to the dumpster outside. It's a desperate, filthy escape route. But before they can move, the metal door at the end of the catwalk swings open. A figure steps out. It's not a mercenary. It's a young soldier, a kid Ibrahim personally trained at the academy. The kid is holding a rifle, his hand shaking. He's looking at Ibrahim, then at the mercenaries below. He has to choose. Shoot his mentor or die with him. The kid raises the rifle. He aims right at Ibrahim's chest. His finger tightens on the trigger. The screen goes black. But the sound of a single shot rings out in the darkness. Who pulled the trigger? Did the student betray the master, or did loyalty win out? The answer will decide the fate of an entire nation. The gunshot echoes like a cannon blast in the enclosed warehouse. Ibrahim doesn't flinch, but the mercenary climbing the stairs behind him drops like a stone. The young soldier, Lieutenant Omar, didn't shoot his mentor. He shot the killer, creeping up on him. Omar racks the slide of his rifle, his face set in a mask of terrified determination. Go, Commander! He screams, tossing a smoke grenade onto the factory floor below. Thick white smoke billows out instantly, blinding the mercenaries and turning the warehouse into a chaotic gray fog. Ibrahim grabs Dr. Traoré by the arm and they sprint across the catwalk. Omar provides covering fire, his bursts precise and controlled. They reach the emergency exit, kicking it open and spilling out into the cool night air. A military jeep is idling near the door. Omar jumps in the driver's seat. Get in, he yells. Ibrahim and the doctor dive into the back just as bullets start pinging off the metal chassis. The jeep tears away, tires spinning on the gravel, leaving the factory of death behind them in a cloud of dust. They drive in silence for 20 minutes, heading deep into the bush outside the city limits. When they finally stop under the cover of dense trees, the adrenaline crash hits. Dr. Kabor is shaking uncontrollably. Omar rests his head on the steering wheel, breathing hard. Ibrahim reaches out and grips the young soldier's shoulder. "You just committed treason, son," Ibrahim says softly. Omar looks back, tears in his eyes. "I saw the crates, sir. I saw the dates they were stamping. My little sister is in the hospital right now. I couldn't let them win." It is a moment of pure clarity. The system is rotten, but the people, the soldiers, the citizens are still good. They just need a leader. Back in the city, Colonel Sankara is moving fast. He assumes Ibrahim is dead or running for the border. The next morning, every television channel in Burkina Faso interrupts its programming. Sankara stands at a podium in the Ministry of Health, wearing his dress uniform, medals gleaming under the lights. He looks the part of a savior. He announces that a terrorist plot against the healthcare system has been stopped. He claims the rogue soldier, Ibrahim Traoré, was killed in a shootout while trying to steal medicine. He holds up a fake autopsy report. The lie is bold. It is absolute. He tells the nation that to ensure safety, the military will now oversee all hospital distribution, effectively making his theft operation official law. Ibrahim watches the broadcast from a cracked phone screen in the bush. He sees the lie spreading. He sees the people in the comment sections expressing grief and confusion. Sankara isn't just stealing money, he is stealing the truth. Ibrahim stands up, brushing the dirt from his fatigues. He thinks he is won because he controls the narrative, Ibrahim says, checking the magazine of his sidearm. "So, we are going to change the story." Dr. Cabaret looks at him. "How?" "We can't get near him. The ministry is a fortress." "Today." "Exactly." Ibrahim says he expects an attack from the outside. He expects a soldier with a gun. He doesn't expect a ghost. Ibrahim outlines the plan. It is insane. It relies on timing down to the second. Omar will use his clearance codes, which haven't been revoked yet, to get them into the basement service tunnels. They aren't going to fight their way in. They are going to walk right up through the floor. 2 hours later, the Ministry of Health is buzzing with reporters. Sankara is wrapping up his speech, smiling for the cameras, answering questions about his heroic efforts. Beneath the building, in the damp, dark tunnels, Ibrahim and his small team are moving. They disable the silent alarms. They bypass the pressure sensors. They reach the emergency exit. That opens directly behind the stage curtain. Ibrahim checks his watch. Time. He signals Omar. The elevator gears grind to life. Up on stage, Sankara is shaking hands with the corrupt hospital administrator, Zongo. The applause is loud, but then the heavy velvet curtain behind them ripples. The room goes quiet. The applause dies down. Sankara turns around confused. The curtain is ripped aside. Ibrahim Traoré steps out. He is dirty. His uniform is torn. He looks like a man who walked out of the grave. The cameras flash wildly. The reporters gasp. Sankara's face goes pale, his confident smile vanishing instantly. He reaches for his holster, but he freezes. He knows the cameras are rolling live. If he draws a weapon on a man he just claimed was dead, the game is over. Ibrahim walks to the center of the stage. He doesn't have a weapon in his hand. He has a microphone he grabbed from the stand. He looks directly into the lens of the main camera, addressing the millions watching at home. "Do not turn off your screens," Ibrahim says, his voice booming through the hall, "because the colonel has one more thing to show you." But as Ibrahim reaches into his pocket to reveal the physical evidence, one of the relabeled bottles Omar grabbed from the factory, the power in the building suddenly cuts. The room plunges into total darkness. The live feed goes dead. Screams erupt in the blackness. Ibrahim hears the sound of heavy boots rushing the stage. He hears the click of safety latches being removed. Sankara didn't cut the feed to hide the truth. He cut it to turn the press conference into an execution. Ibrahim is unarmed, blinded, and surrounded by Sankara's elite guard in a pitch-black room. The trap has snapped shut, and this time there is nowhere to run. The darkness in the conference hall isn't empty. It is alive with the sound of panic. Chairs overturn. People scream. Ibrahim hears the heavy scuff of military boots rushing across the stage floor. He knows exactly where they are coming from. He drops to a crouch, rolling to his left just as the distinct crack thump of a silencer cuts through the air. A bullet buries itself in the wall exactly where he was standing a second ago. Colonel Sankara isn't trying to arrest him. He is trying to erase him. Ibrahim is blind, unarmed, and hunted. But Sankara made a critical mistake. He forgot who else is in the room. This isn't a military bunker. It's a press conference. The room is packed with journalists, and journalists carry phones. Turn on your lights, Ibrahim bellows, his voice commanding, even in the chaos. Show the world what they are doing. For a heartbeat, there is hesitation. Then one light flicks on. Then 10, then 50. Within seconds, the hall is illuminated by a sea of hundreds of smartphone flashlights. The beams cut through the gloom like spotlights, converging on the stage. The scene they reveal is shocking. Colonel Sankara is standing there, his service pistol raised, aiming into the crowd. His personal guards are frozen, caught mid-charge, and Ibrahim Traoré stands tall in the center of the beams, his hands empty except for that single bottle of medicine. The silence that follows is heavier than the darkness. Every camera is recording now. Every live stream is backup, broadcasting via mobile data. Sankara lowers his gun slowly, realizing the trap has reversed. He looks like a deer caught in headlights, exposed, vulnerable, and guilty. Ibrahim doesn't attack. He doesn't scream. He simply steps forward, holding the bottle up to the ring of light. "Look at this," he says, his voice calm, but carrying a dangerous edge. He uses his thumbnail to scratch off the government aid sticker on the bottle. Underneath, the original expiration date is visible, 2021. "He is feeding poison to your children to buy mansions in France," Ibrahim says, tossing the bottle at Sankara's feet. This is his legacy. Sankara's face twists in rage. He barks an order to his guards. "Arrest him. He is a traitor." The guards look at Sankara. Then they look at Ibrahim. Then they look at the hundreds of phones recording their every move. The captain of the guard, a man who took an oath to protect the people, not the payroll, slowly holsters his weapon. He shakes his head. "No, Colonel," the captain says, his voice flat. "I think we are done here." The captain signals his men. They don't move toward Ibrahim. They move toward Sankara. The colonel screams, threatening them, pulling rank, but it's over. The handcuffs click shut. The sound echoes through the silent hall, followed by a roar of approval from the crowd that shakes the building's foundation. In the days that follow, the fallout is nuclear. The Sankara network crumbles. Zongo is picked up at the airport trying to board a flight to Zurich. The warehouses are raided not by mercenaries, but by honest police officers led by Lieutenant Umar. Millions of dollars in stolen assets are seized. But more importantly, the real medicine, the safe medicine, starts flowing back into the hospitals. 6 months later, Ibrahim drives his dusty 4x4 to a small clinic in the rural north. He isn't wearing a uniform. He's in civilian clothes. Just a man traveling through his country. Walks inside and sees the waiting room full of mothers and children, but it's different now. The pharmacy shelves are stuck. The doctors aren't panicking. He spots Dr. Kaber near the triage desk. The doctor looks tired, but it's a good tired. The exhaustion of saving lives, not losing them. Kaber spots Ibrahim and nods. No words are exchanged. They don't need to speak. The living children playing on the floor are the only thanks Ibrahim needs. Ibrahim walks back to his truck as the sun sets, painting the sky in deep oranges and purples. He leans against the door frame for a moment, taking a breath of the cooling air. The corruption was a weed, deep and tangled, choking the life out of the garden. They pulled this one out by the root, but he knows there are always more weeds, always more men like Sankara waiting for the world to look away. But not today. Today the garden grows. Ibrahim climbs into the truck and turns the key. Engine hums, ready for the next journey, the next fight, the next shadow that needs to be brought into the light. Because freedom isn't a destination you reach. It's a road you have to drive. Every single day. And Ibrahim Traoré is just getting started. So if this story fired you up, if you believe that the truth is worth fighting for, don't just click away. Hit that like button, smash subscribe, and turn on notifications. You are now part of the Ibrahim Traoré Nation. And trust me, you won't want to miss what happens next.